So, is this real or just insecurity? How do I know if this jealousy I'm feeling is the truth? Welcome back to the Secure Husband Podcast. Bruce Abbott, certified professional coach and founder of SecureHusband.com. Helping good men stop living from fear and start leading with emotional strength and clarity. One of my guys in one of the coaching sessions the other day was telling me how he has a jealous streak and how he's been reacting from this jealous streak lately, and it's been causing problems with him and his wife. In past relationships, I've been in that exact same boat. I had a jealous streak as I entered new relationships, especially when I jumped too soon into a relationship after a breakup, because jealousy can really rear its ugly head sometimes. And you can feel it. You feel it, like for me, it was right in my chest when she's talking with another guy, maybe with a little too much enthusiasm. A little text on her phone, but this wasn't a text that you sent. Or she dresses up a little bit nicer. You're like, what's all that? You see her light up in a way that you haven't seen in a while. And then all of a sudden you wonder, okay, is something going on? Is she pulling away? Is there someone else? And your brain, like a hamster wheel, just goes round and round with all these jealous thoughts. And I had to stop myself and just ask, okay, is there really something to be concerned about here? And as I got older and understood all of this better, I started understanding how the wounded self can make you paranoid. And as you start to heal, it becomes easier to figure out, okay, what exactly is this jealous feeling that I'm feeling? How do I know if this is truly a red flag or if it's just a false alarm? Because jealousy is not a bad emotion. Usually it's a signal. It's a signal from your nervous system trying to protect you from a perceived loss. The thing is, that signal can come from actual threats, or it can come from old wounds that never healed. Because in a real threat, jealousy might be alerting you to emotional or physical closeness with someone that crosses boundaries. Or it's a breakdown in the marriage that's opening the door to someone else. You have this repeated pattern of secrecy or flirtation or betrayal. But, in most cases, jealousy really isn't about her behavior. It's about your wound. It's a reaction from that little boy inside who once felt invisible or unchosen or afraid. And if you don't know the difference, then you're going to start reacting to your wife as if she's the enemy. Often she may have no idea what's even going on. Now, when I talk about marriages in this podcast, I'm really not talking about the cheating wife or the cheating husband. And what I'm really talking about is I'm talking about a good husband married to a good wife where there's no cheating going on, there's no infidelity, there's just dysfunction, because that's most of the men that I work with. And I've mentioned before, if you've got a cheating wife or if you yourself are having an affair, those are not as common as you might think. But what I find with guys that I work with that is more common is a husband and wife still together, but they're just struggling. I'm talking about good men married to good women who are just having problems. And so you have to be aware and you have to notice this jealousy that's happening, but without judgment. You don't suppress it. You don't explode from it. You just notice it and ask yourself what triggered this feeling. Am I seeing something real or interpreting something based on fear? And what part of me feels threatened right now? Because most jealousy, it's this mixture of fear and low self-worth and unhealed rejection and comparison and unspoken needs all thrown together. But you don't have to treat jealousy like a failure. Just treat it like a spotlight. It's shining in this area where you need healing. It's showing you where you need to do the inner work. But it's only when you notice it and can name it, then you can move through it. And you can choose to just slow down before you react from this jealousy. Because the wounded man, he reacts fast. It's stimulus response, bang. And then he just starts accusing and blaming, and he wants answers, and he's spiraling down. But the secure man, he just pauses. He takes a deep breath, and asks himself, hey, is this a me issue or is this a we issue? And you just breathe. Examine your history. Look at any patterns. You ground yourself first because no one's going to respond well to fear-based confrontation. And then just notice if something truly does feel off, and can you address it from strength and not from panic? Because that creates a whole different energy. Because that jealousy, it's a trigger, just like sex, just like anything else. We've always talked about this in the podcast because this is all part of this little boy inside of you. It's a part of you that feels replaceable Because that's what jealousy is really about. It's fear that you're not enough, that someone better is going to come along, that she's going to wake up one day and realize that, oh, he doesn't measure up. I'm out of here. And then you're thinking, if I lose her, I lose everything. That's not just fear. That's a story coming from false core beliefs. It's a story that came from when you were 4, 5, 7 years old. Maybe you had a family member that left, or you felt criticized or ignored. A lot of the guys that I work with, they grew up believing that love was earned and it was very fragile. And you didn't get your emotional needs met when you were little, because those feelings are big and scary. And you just do anything you can as a youngster as a coping mechanism. So your reactions are really from this little boy. So when you're reacting to your wife's coworker or maybe a text on her phone, you're reacting to that boy inside who still believes he's not enough. And he's triggered by what he sees. But now you can show up for him and you can say, hey, little guy, you're not replaceable. You are already enough. And I see you. I've got you. You are loved. Your worth is not determined by what she does or doesn't do. And that's how you start to build that security back inside of you. And you connect to a higher power that gives you that unconditional love. God, the universe, higher self. And then from there, you could just breathe and begin to get a better idea between instinct and insecurity, and just understanding that difference. Because sometimes your gut is picking up on something real, but most of the time it's not instinct, it's anxiety. And when you can soothe yourself and ground yourself, this gives you a better ability to tell the difference. Because instinct is going to feel calm, but clear. You'll be able to see observable patterns, not panic. It allows you to just stay focused on the facts and make a better decision. Is there something I should be concerned about here? Because insecurity usually comes and it's anything but calm. It's loud and it's urgent and intense, and it focuses on worst case scenarios, and it needs this constant reassurance, and it makes everything about you. But when you slow down and ground yourself first, then you get better clarity of, is this betrayal or is this just old fear? And from there, you can respond like a man and not a wounded little boy who's in survival mode. And this allows you to communicate from grounded curiosity and not control. If something does feel off, you don't go straight to the accusations, you don't guilt, you don't police her phone or your movements. You lead and you say, hey, babe, I want to bring something up. Might be my own insecurity. Hey, I own that. I've been feeling a little disconnected lately. And then when I saw you talking to the coworker, or when I saw that text come through, or whatever the situation might be, it stirred something in me. I just need to ask you to get a little bit more clarity on something. And that's honest. That's respectful. That energy comes across as secure. It's emotionally intelligent. And even if there is something deeper going on, you've just created the kind of space where she's more likely to tell the truth, because you're not coming from fear and control. You're coming from love and leadership. Because if you can stay grounded and trust your instinct, then you will often make better decisions, even if sometimes the outcome sucks. But I tell you, the guys that I work with, on many occasions, the wife will communicate, he's so jealous. He thinks I'm always possibly having an affair, or he thinks I'm always looking at this guy over here, or he thinks this, or he thinks that. And a lot of times the wives will be like, I don't, but he is so insecure, and none of these things are happening. So when you can build yourself and get yourself healed, you can get to a place where you stop checking her phone for no reason, or you stop replaying conversations in your head, or you stop needing this constant reassurance, and instead you live from a place of calm confidence because you know who you are. And that energy can restore trust, and it rebuilds intimacy, and it can keep your marriage rooted even through tough seasons. Because jealousy is not the problem, it's just reacting to it without reflection. That's where things go wrong. Is there a possibility that there is something as a red flag? Oh, it's always a possibility. But most jealousy is not about her. It's about that unhealed story inside of you that says you're not enough. So this is where you just pause and you listen. You meet that little boy inside. You connect to that unconditional love that is a divine source of worth. And you stop building these stories in your head and you start leading from strength. Because you don't have to live jealous anymore. You just have to learn to lead and be responsible for the only one you can be responsible for, and that's you. I hope this podcast was helpful to you. If so, give me a review, hit that subscribe button for more Secure Husband episodes. Hey, share this episode with someone who you think might need to hear this. Visit securehusband.com for more resources and to book one-on-one coaching with me. And I'll see you again on the next Secure Husband podcast. Thanks for listening.